Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope you're all well. Apologies if there's any thundering going on. We're currently in the middle of a storm. So today I thought I would bring you a video all about how you can calculate your own calories and macros. This is something that as a PT I get asked all the time, and I thought it would be a good way to show you a nice, quick and simple way of calculating this. Obviously there are a number of different ways to calculate these, and you can go in depth, as much in depth as you want to, but this is just the basics. So yes, it won't be as 100% accurate as you can get them, but it will give you a basis into your maintenance calories and then being able to give you your macro targets. So yeah, I will show you this, and then after, if you do like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and then I will show you in another video how we can then put these calories and macro targets into MyFitnessPal and ensure that we're using MyFitnessPal correctly and not the calories that MyFitnessPal recommend, because they are far too low. So yeah, I will bring that video to you if you like this one, so make sure you give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. And yeah, don't forget to click subscribe and turn your notifications on, and let's get into the video. So to begin with, we need to know our calories before we can go on to macros. So what we need to do is be able to calculate our maintenance calories. And remember, our maintenance calories are our calories that we need to maintain our weight. So we're not losing weight, we're not gaining weight, we're just maintaining as we are. Obviously, everybody's maintenance calories will be different. They are specific to the individual. So you never want to copy someone else's calories, essentially, because it's specific to that individual. With this being said, obviously this is all about calories and numbers, I do think as a PT it's important that you know your maintenance calories, just because this prevents you from either under eating, which is actually more common than people realise. The amount of times I give my clients a food plan and they're like, wow, I can eat way more than what I expected. So yeah, a lot of the time people undereat, or they might be overeating, which is then where they're gaining weight and they're not realising. So obviously I recommend it, but that being said, if you are a person that knows they become like a little bit obsessed with numbers, then perhaps calories and macro tracking probably isn't the most recommended method for you, and I would say more to focus on just a healthy, balanced diet. But yeah, so first of all, to work out our maintenance calories, we need to know our BMR, so our basal metabolic rate, and our TDE, which is our total daily energy expenditure. So to work this out, we use this equation called the Harris-Benedict equation. I use the revised edition, which is the 1991, just because it's way simpler than the older one, because it doesn't have as many decimal points in. The answer the number that it gives you when you do the calculation, obviously it is sort of still based on an estimate. It's not going to be 100% accurate, so it's normally around 200 calories leeway. So it could be 200 calories up from your maintenance or 200 calories less than. But what I recommend doing is that when you calculate your maintenance calories, if you then eat in your maintenance for a period and step on the scales regularly, say for 4 weeks or so, you will know if you haven't gained weight and you haven't lost weight, you will be in your maintenance. If you've moved either way in the scales, you will be either in a surplus or a, deficit. So yeah, that's what we need to do first. So we're gonna do the equation. Okay, so to work out our basal metabolic rate, which is our BMR, that is our total number of calories that we burn from basically not doing anything. If we were in bed just breathing, that's kind of what it would be. Obviously it's not 100% accurate, it's very difficult to get it 100% accurate, so this is just the basics. That's how I like to keep it simple. So there is obviously the equation, the Harris-Benedict equation, that we have to do to find out our BMR to begin with. So the equation is 10 times your body weight in kilograms, plus 6.25 times your height in centimeters, minus 5 times your age in years, and then minus 161 if you're a female, or plus 5 if you're a man. Like I said, it's very difficult, so I'll pop it in the bottom of the screen here and leave it on there for you to copy down and write it down, because it's quite a long equation and I hate maths. Anyway, so what I thought I'd do is I'll take you through an example one. So I'm going to do my BMR and we can work it out together. So, feeling very professional. So I am a 61 kg female, so being a female I need to minus 161 from the total when we do the equation. I am 154.94 centimeters in height and I am 23 years of age. So the sum we need to do is 10 times our body weight, which is 61, which is 610, and then we need to do 6.25 times our height, so 154.94, which is 968.375, and then we do 5 times our age, which is 115. So then the equation we do is 610 plus 968.375 minus 115 minus 161. Remember, females 161, males plus 5. And that gives us a total of 1302. I have rounded this up to the nearest calories just because obviously decimals get in the way and they make everything confusing for everyone. So this is 1302 calories. So that's how much I burn if I was to lay in bed all day. That is my basal metabolic rate. So that's the first step. Step 2 to working out your maintenance calories is you then need to take your BMR and times it by your PAL, which is your physical activity level. So this is basically your, similar to your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, but it's less accurate. It's just a simple way of doing things and it still works. So let's keep it simple. So the way the PAL works is you fit into 3 categories. So you have sedentary, so office job, little activity. Then you have active, which is, you know, you're working out like 3 to 4 times a day, no, not a day, 3 to 4 times a week, and you're hitting 10,000 steps essentially. And then the third one is vigorously active. So this is, you know, you are always on your feet. Say for example, you're a builder, a labourer, you're using a large amount of calories daily, just through your job, your activities, that kind of thing. I'm in the middle, so we take our BMR calories, so our 1,302, and we times it by 1.76, which gives me a total of 2,292. And this, ladies and gents, is our maintenance calories. I now can't spell. So, the big 2,292. So that means I can eat 2,292 calories a day and not gain any weight and not lose any weight. Now, I would say this is probably fairly accurate. I think I probably have sat in my maintenance calories around 2,100 probably. So like I said, you have got that leeway of 200 more or 200 less to ensure like the accuracy of it. So I'd probably say probably about 150 less than this, and there is about my actual maintenance calories. So step 3 is where we now need to decide what goal it is we want to achieve. So we've got our maintenance calories, so mine is 2,292. Now I'm going to focus on losing weight, just because this is what I'm doing at the moment. I am eating in a calorie deficit, so it's easier for me to show you this. But if you want to gain muscle, gain size, gain weight, you just need to do the reverse of what I'm doing. So we take the total maintenance calories, which is 2,292. Now where I would aim, so if you want to eat in a calorie deficit, I would tell you or tell my clients that you should first of all lower these calories by 10% only, because you need to allow time for your body to adapt. And a realistic amount of time I would say is about 4 weeks. So take these calories and lower them by 10%. So 10% less than this is 2,062 calories. So I would say to you, I would say to myself, because these are my personal ones, remember that I need to eat 2,062 calories for 4 weeks at least to trial it out and see how my body adapts to it. Because there's no point sticking to it for a week and being like, the scales haven't gone down, I'm gonna lower it again, because our body needs to adapt to these new calorie changes, especially if we've never done anything like this before. So after I've eaten like this for 4 weeks, I would probably then lower it again, because that's where our body starts to hit a plateau, more than likely. So then you've got 15%, and the 15% is 15% of the total calories. So 15% of 2,292 calories, not the second number, otherwise you'll be eating way less again. So 15% is 1948, so 1,948 calories. So again, you're probably now looking at this and being like, oh, that's more like a deficit. I would say a lot of people probably tend to sit in about a 15% deficit. Sometimes they can go lower. If you want to be sustainable and like still be able to work around your lifestyle, I'd probably say 15% is probably a good deficit number to sit at. This is probably where I'm at, maybe 15-20%, so 20%, again, it's 20% off the total maintenance calories, is 1,833 calories. So when we've got this, so now I'm going to be tracking this for 4 weeks. So all of these 4 weeks, and I've dropped them after 4 weeks, just to allow my body enough time to, you know, adapt to those new changes and see if my body has been losing weight. If it isn't losing weight, obviously I know I need to lower it slightly more, because that's my own body and that's what I need. What I would say is, if your target is weight loss and you're following a deficit and you're doing this, I would say aim for roughly, give or take, it's never 100% accurate, but 0.5 kilogram weight loss a week to be in a true deficit. I would say that's perfect. You don't want to be losing any more than this, because that would be more dangerous for your body. And obviously it's going to be very difficult to lose that amount every single time, because like you're going to fluctuate, stress is going to fluctuate, you know, hormones, periods, food, whatever you've eaten, it's going to change everything. So that's just a good target, 0.5 kilograms of weight loss a week. We're now moving on to our macros. So like I said with the calories, macro targets are specific to you again. There's not one set rule, you can alter them, but this is just a general guidance. We're going to take the 15% calorie deficit target, which was 1948 calories, because I think this is a good place to start. If you wanted to start at 15% less, that is fine. So we're going to take that. And then, so the important information that you need to know for macros is that 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories, okay? And then 1 gram of carbs also equals 4 calories. But 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. Okay, so that's important. So then, this is key information. I probably should have written that smaller. So, the first thing we work out is our protein target. Now, I always stick to the whole target of you should eat roughly about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So, now we're working in pounds. So, I am 134 pounds, roughly, give or take. We'll say 134 pounds. So I would aim to eat roughly around 134 grams of protein. Now this is totally up to you. I know some people prefer to eat more protein and some people prefer to eat less. I believe it's around 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. But honestly, having it as one gram per pound is just easier because it's simple. So protein, we already know then, is going to be 134 grams of protein. Then we want to work out is our fats. So with fats, again, there's a leeway of where you want to go. So you either want to times it by 0.3 to 0.5. Now, I quite like fats in my diet, so I normally go with 0.4. So what you want to do is you want to times your body weight by 0.4. So we've got 134 pounds times 0.4. 0.4, remember again, is in the middle, so that's why I like it. If you have less, if you times it by 0.3, you'll have less fats in your diet. If you times it by 0.5, you'll have more fats. It's simple. So 134 times 0.4 is 53.6. Okay, so then what we need to do is work out how many calories these grams will be to be able to work out our carbs. So what we're going to do is 134 grams of protein times 4 calories, because it's 4 grams per gram. 4 calories per 1 gram. I will pop all equations onto the screen so it helps you. So 134 times 4 is 536. And then we need to do 53.6 for the amount of fats, times 9 because it's 9 calories per 1 gram of fat, and this equals 482. Now we need to add those two numbers together. So 536 add 482 is 1018 calories. So that's how many calories we can eat from just our fats and our protein. So now we need to take our total number, so 1948 minus 1018 equals 980. So this is 980 calories left for our carbohydrate macronutrient. It's a mouthful. So the last thing we need to do is 980, and this time you're dividing it to work out how many grams we need. So 980 divided by 4, because it's 4 calories per 1 gram of carbohydrates, and that gives us a total of 232 grams. Voila. Right, I'm going to rub this out so you can see it. Total calories of a calorie deficit of 9,048. Our protein target is 134 grams. Our carb target is 232 grams. And our fat target is 53 grams. Let's ignore the decimals. So, to be in a calorie deficit, I know that I need to eat 1,948 calories, 134 grams of protein roughly, 232 grams of carbs, and 53 grams of fat. A little tip, obviously this is how the calculation has worked out. Now I could adapt this for myself or for my clients, whoever it's for, because if I am feeling, I don't know, tired, low on energy, then I know I'm not eating enough carbohydrates, so I could increase that slightly. But say I was feeling like my workouts weren't as great, or like my performance wasn't as good, or I was feeling weaker, I was feeling stronger, then I'd know my protein was too low for myself, because remember, every person is different, so then I could increase this slightly. And with fats, a way to know if your fats are maybe too low is you might have poor concentration, or you might be feeling like hungry straight after you've had a meal. So obviously adapt these where you see fit. If you need to, some people work well with low carbs. I just feel so tired. So I know I need high carb, high protein, lower fats. Other people might have low carb, high protein, high fat. It's totally up to you, remember. But if you do get confused, please either leave a comment or DM me on my Instagram. I'll leave my handle below and I will be sure to help and explain everything. Or if you've done it and you want to check if it's right, message me and I will be able to help you with that. So obviously that is now the end of our video. So we have our calories and we have our macro targets. So the one thing I do want to say is that they are totally individual to you. You will know what is best for you, no one else will. Like I've given you the tips to know if you need to increase or decrease. But also, if you are like if you feel like you're becoming a little bit too obsessed with the numbers and hitting those targets, then maybe just take some time off tracking and just focus on healthy eating. I wouldn't recommend tracking all the time because it can get very dull and boring. Some people love it, it does help people, so yes, whatever works best for you. And another tip I would say is try to make your food fit your macros rather than your macros fitting your food. So, you know, if you're someone that likes a biscuit, ensure that you have enough like macros and calories left to have that biscuit. If it's like as a dessert at the end of the day, have it. Don't be like, I'm not having that biscuit because my macros doesn't say so. Just try and work it around you and make it more sustainable, so to ensure that you can still meet your targets in a healthy way rather than it becoming too stressful and you wanting to give up. But yeah, I hope that was okay and not too confusing. I mean, it was probably more confusing for me because I'm so bad at maths and I hate maths, but unfortunately maths is something we have to do to be able to work out these numbers. But like I said at the beginning, if you do like this video and you want to know more on how to now input these numbers into MyFitnessPal and stray away from the ridiculous numbers that MyFitnessPal set you, then please give this video a big thumbs up and leave a comment below and I will bring you that video in a couple of videos time. And yeah, don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn your notifications on so you don't miss that one, and I will see you next time. See you later.